It will be a gift for your letter. Yes, extra help, of course. Yes, I got it.
Our survival depends mostly in the choices we take. Toastmasters and I, as evaluator, members and guests, tonight I would like to talk to you about the many things that we can use in order to survive as human beings, as biological beings. For example, I can say that you can last 7 days without sleeping and you will be somewhat fine. You can last 30 days without eating and you until you start feeling weak about it. You can last 2 minutes without breathing unless you actually need to breathe. And finally, you can last 2 or 3 days without any drink, without water whatsoever. We think then that we need water, liquids, as part of our daily knowledge. And we can find it in many kinds. We can find it in bottles like this of pure water, harmless to everyone. Some say it's healthy for some diets. We can find it in bottles like this, bottles of soda, that best is fattening to some, or perhaps may develop allergic reactions to others. And finally, we have this. We have alcoholic drinks. These drinks, for some reason, are the very thing people like to accompany most parties with. People often say, a party without booze is not a party at all. But what happens when we drink too much of this? What happens to us? Is what I'm going to find out with you tonight. I am going to drink some of this. I'm going to represent some of the reactions that we can observe in people that drink more and more and more. For example, I am here perfectly lucid, right here, talking before you, standing before you, and nothing has happened to me because I haven't touched this yet. But as soon as I do, we start to feel up that it is disgusting. This is, oh my God, it's so bitter. I don't like any of it. But there is some kind of addictive feature that kicks in at some point that makes us try again anyway. By the first cup, you might notice that your throat begins losing control. You begin breathing, and your speech becomes defective, and you don't think or talk loosely anymore. And it begins to show in the way you express yourself. So you better not drink one or more of these before a national contest. By the second cup of this, you notice that your eyesight begins to falter. You begin to see blurry. You don't distinguish, for example, a Selena from a hot dog, or Miguel Mora from a cheeseburger, or for example, maybe Santa Rosa from a piece of cake. You you don't distinguish anymore, and the time comes when you don't care. You don't care if you're talking to a hot dog, to a cheeseburger, to a piece of cake. It matters less and less to you. Because the only thing that matters is that you want more of this. By the third cup, you notice that not only your speech, not only your eyesight begins faltering, but also does your body balance. You begin to lose your balance, and then you can't stand on your feet anymore. And this is why you always see young people walking around like this, like they don't know what to do with themselves. So you might notice them for service, but they don't have any bite marks or something whatsoever. By the workshop, you notice that people don't seem to leave you alone. They don't stop meddling in your business. But why are people telling me that I should drink any more of this? I don't want to. It's mine. Mine only. You have no business dealing with mine. I mean, I don't care if you're a hot or a cheeseburger or a piece of cake. You're not getting any more of this. It's mine. Only mine. And the final thing that begins to matter is your consciousness. Because your list is already, your speech is already failing, your eyesight is normally failing, your balance is already failing. What's next? You become losing consciousness, and then you don't care about anything. And then you notice that before all the people that are bothering you, obviously, what happened? What happened yesterday? Oh, that. You might notice that the symptom known as hangover begins to kick in. And this is why it's very important to stop doing these things on excess. Yes, some may say that, some may be within their right to say that particular this is not a party. Well, we have to control it, or otherwise we begin to lose our bodily functions. We perhaps begin to lose our friends, our people around us, because we are alienating them with a drunk behavior, and then we begin to lose everything else. We can lose our job, we can lose our scholarship, our register to our school, we can lose our home. You can lose everything. We can lose absolutely everything. So here's what. Before this thing destroys you, why don't you destroy it instead? I don't know, dumping in a garbage bin, dumping in the toilet, anything, but don't let it destroy you.
If that's zombie, let's call the plant.
Well, the time for the speech, please.
7 minutes, 18 seconds.
18? Well, thank you, David, for inviting me to become your evaluator for this speech. As many of us remember, it was presented last week, and I see that you polished it pretty nice. When you contacted me by the computer, I remember that you asked me for some advice, and I think that you did it pretty well tonight. Congratulations. How did the speaker make the talk relevant to the audience's interest? Well, you advanced from general drinks, how we can survive with soda and water, and then you move to drinks like beer and alcohol. I think you built the interest for me. Describe the demonstration's impact on you. I think it was pretty funny, as obviously informative to fulfill the requirements of this manual, and especially I had fun with the accidental board. Excellent. And also, the impact for me is that demonstration is what happens when you drink. You touch the topics of what happens in your mind when you drink, with your language, with your body movement reactions. How appropriate was the choice of the demonstration method? I think it was a nice choice to become yourself an actor to express that drunk behavior. Or I guess this is the title for this speech, drunk behavior. But I think that perhaps in other kind of clubs, especially in Puebla, especially in Puebla clubs, they might interpret like drinking a beer in front of an audience like harmful or offensive, because we are here to become leaders and yada yada yada. And remember that you might put a vodka bottle filled with water and act like if you are drinking vodka but really in water. I think that would be different in other. I don't think that any of us felt offended, but some audiences might felt that way. Was each part of the demonstration clearly explained? Yes, each sip you did for the beer, it was explained. And what could the speaker have done to make the demonstration more effective? I don't see what, because your body movement, it was nice. You only moved when you were allowed to communicate something. You didn't were like dancing or something. You did a nice job. And what was the most effective part of the demonstration? I think that perhaps the first and the second sips, because your pitch in speaking, it was more like normal, like when you talk to us. And then for the third and to the fifth, it was somehow difficult for me to keep up with what you were saying, because you were drunk. So, David, you did a very good speech, and I'm looking forward to see you in the next one, the fourth speech. Congratulations.